Okay, I don't know if you saw the farewell message from GandCrab. We're living proof you can do evil and get away scot free. Yeah, about that. Germany just put a name and face to Unknown, the ghost who ran both GandCrab and REvil. Let's all say hi to Daniil Shchukin, the 31-year-old Russian who thought he was untouchable. Yeah, this guy pioneered the art of double extortion ransomware. Encrypt your files, also steal your data, and then charge you twice. Between 2019 and 2021, he hit Germany alone with over 130 attacks causing over 35 million euro in damages. Yeah, his wallet when he was apprehended contained over 30 grand in seized cryptocurrency. Now, for those of us who've been following GandCrab and REvil, GandCrab actually shut down way back in 2019, claiming that they'd made a lifetime of money in just 1 year and then retired. And then conveniently, boom. Okay, REvil immediately appears thereafter, fronted by Unknown, this character who deposited $1 million in escrow just to flex. Simply put, he was using the same playbook, same crew, just different name. And then they went full corporate, hired specialists, outsources tasks like a Fortune 500 company. They were doing big game hunting. At this point, they were only going after targets worth over 100 million in revenue. You know, the type of targets that had juicy cyber insurance policies that just couldn't wait to pay out, you know. And then came Kaseya, okay? That really put a target on their back. REvil hacked this company that had been managing over 1,500 different businesses. The interesting thing here is, though, is the FBI, they'd actually already infiltrated their servers, but they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't tip their hand. Yeah, they were finally able to, you know, drop the decryption key. But anyway, my point here is, though, is this. Now, Germany's flexing like they've accomplished something big, but in the end, really, Shulkin's in Krasnodar, Russia right now, okay? Germany wants him, but Russia's not going to hand him over. That's the thing. They may have found him, at a birthday party wearing the same fancy watches in his mugshot, but in the end, I guess it just turns out that you can do evil. You just can't stay anonymous forever. All right, let's move on to our next story. All right, your EDR software is supposed to protect you, right? You know, endpoint detection, real-time monitoring, all those fancy security layers that your company spent $6 million on. Yeah. Well, Quillin and Warlock ransomware gangs just said cute and then walked right past about 300 of them. Yeah, they're using this tactic called BYOVD, or Bring Your Own Vulnerable Driver. Basically, they show up with a legitimate signed driver that they know has vulnerabilities, and then they load that onto your system and then use them to murder your security tools at the kernel level before your EDR even knows what hit it, okay? Quillin's dropping a DLL called MSI MG32 that terminates drivers for almost every known security vendor on the market. It neutralizes user mode hooks, suppresses event logs, and hides its control flow so well that your monitoring tools are blind. Yeah, they're using tools and drivers like throttle stop to access physical memory and another one to terminate EDR processes. Both drivers are already seen in Akira and MacOp ransomware attacks. This is becoming playbook actions now. Stats are showing that Quillin is, at this point, the most active ransomware group on the planet right now. Hundreds of victims currently. In Japan alone, they claim 22% of all ransomware incidents in 2025. They get in with stolen creds, spend about 6 days methodically expanding their control, and then boom, ransomware deployment. Warlocks, they're doing the same thing, but they're hitting unpatched SharePoint servers and using a vulnerable driver called insect kernel to kill security at the kernel level. They're using tight VNC for persistence, Velociraptor for command and control, and rclone to exfiltrate your data using legitimate tools. The fix here is stop allowing unsigned drivers, folks. Monitor every driver installation event. Patch your security software religiously because, if your EDR has a driver-based component, it's going to be a target, okay? Multi-layered defense isn't optional anymore. It's standard. Defense in depth is survival. All right, let's move on to our next story. It's not really a news story, but it's a warning for everyone. And for me, this one hit a little too close to home. Okay. Yesterday, Easter Sunday, I was spending time with my family, and my father witnessed something that should really concern us all. A woman was donating to the church through a scanned QR code using what we didn't know at the time was a third-party QR code app to scan the QR code. And with ours, her credit card information was stolen. The problem wasn't the QR code itself, it was the app that she was using to scan it. And so here's the thing that I really don't think a lot of people realize, okay? Your phone's built-in camera already scans QR codes. Yeah, Android, iPhone, it's built right in. You don't need a third-party app. But millions of people have downloaded these free QR code scanner apps, and some of them are doing a lot more than just reading codes. Yeah, these malicious apps can redirect you to fake websites designed to look legitimate. They can inject tracking scripts. They can harvest your personal data and payment information, all while you think you're pulling up a menu or a coupon. So here's what you need to do, okay, folks? First, delete any third-party QR scanner app that you have on your phone. You don't need it, okay? Use the built-in camera. That's it, okay? Second thing, before you tap any link that pops up from a QR code, look at the URL, okay? You don't have to go to it first. Look at the URL. Does it match the business that you're at? Does it look suspicious? Does something just even feel slightly off? Well, then don't tap it, okay? Now, third thing, if you've used one of these apps recently, okay, check your bank statements, okay? Look for charges that you don't recognize. If you see anything, contact your bank immediately, okay? QR codes are basically everywhere now, okay? Restaurants, parking meters, event tickets, church bulletins. Yeah, scammers know this and they're counting on you to scan without thinking. Don't give them that chance, okay? Use the built-in camera, check the URL, and stay safe, folks. All right, that's about it for today, folks. This is Andy Thompson signing off.